Hello, welcome to the Why Lab, where we explore the why.
When making educational decisions for you and your family.
Many parents today are wondering which academic pathway they want to choose AP, IB, or A level, and many families fear that they might choose the wrong curriculums for their child and then it jeopardizes their future. And we have here with us today Kate Irving, our college counselor. Hi, Kate.
Hi, it's my pleasure to be here today. I am Kate Irving, college counselor at Basis International School, Bangkok. I have been with the Basis Network for 10 years now. I come from the US, and I've been in education for about 25 years. I began my educational journey as an English teacher, and I taught AP English Literature and Language as one of my courses, and then I moved into college counseling 7 years later, and I've been a college counselor for the past 15 years, working in schools that have AP as a major part of their curriculum.
Thank you, Kate, for being here with me today. First question, though, that I have a lot of parents been asking. Do university actually prefer a specific curriculum to enter universities?
When a student applies to a university, they're applying with the background of whatever high school they've attended. So when universities are reading any applications, they're looking at the student in the context of where they attended high school. So if it's an A-level program, if it's an AP program, an IB program, they know that when they're looking at the student. So they don't have any preferences. They just want to know who the student is, the curriculum they took, and how successful they were in that curriculum, and if they've done all the extra things they need to do in order to be excellent candidates for a university. So no, universities are not looking for specific curricula, they're just looking for the right students to accept into their universities
That fit their culture.
Correct, that fit more than just their test results and their classrooms, but that fit them as a whole university culture.
So what actually that university are looking for then?
Well, when an admissions officer receives a student's application, first thing they're looking for is their transcript, the curriculum that they took, and how well they did in it. The next thing they're looking at are test scores. We've got the SATs, we've got APs, we've got other examinations that students have taken leading up to that application. Then they're going to take a look at who the student is outside of the classroom, their extracurricular activities, community service, or anything that they've involved themselves in over the many years of being a high school student. And then they're going to see the recommendations that come from their teachers, because universities are looking for students to be successful in their classrooms, to be contributing to their campus community, to do quite well in their program and become amazing alumni who make them look even better, right? So that's what they're looking for when they're looking at each individual student's application.
So Kate, from all this experience, what are the most misconception about AP that they don't understand?
Excellent question, because families don't want to make a mistake, right? They don't want to put their child in a curriculum that's not going to give them that end result of university that they're looking for. So a lot of families might be concerned about joining an AP curriculum if their child wants to attend university in the UK, for instance. So if you lived in the UK, you would take A-levels. But the UK admits students from all over the globe. So they're looking at so many different curricula across the globe, and they're looking at the student within that curricula once again. So picking an AP course pathway does not shut any doors. So I do get the question a lot about whether an AP curriculum is going to enable their child to enroll in universities across the globe. And my answer is that yes, universities accept all types of students within all curricula. Now they're all still looking, the top universities are still looking for top performing students. So for instance, at a university in the UK, where they're looking for specific A-levels, they have equivalencies for IBs and for APs. So students who are successful in the AP curriculum are going to have admission into those UK universities. Right? So the AP curriculum allows a student to shine in many different areas and be prepared for many different academic pathways and majors and university interests. So they can apply across the globe with the right scores and APs taken. So
So, is there any specific AP pathway that is different from others, that we can choose?
There are many AP pathways, and I'm going to speak to the BASIS network, for instance. The way that they have designed and the way that the network has designed their curriculum in a high school is to utilize that college level coursework that the College Board has created through the AP curriculum. And so our students here have taken a variety of APs by the time they reach grade 12. And on average, they've taken about 13. So they've covered all the areas that universities are looking for. And they also have the opportunity within the curricula to take the specialization APs, like AP Economics if they want to go into business, AP Psychology if they're interested in being a doctor or just expanding their knowledge base, and or the higher levels of AP Calculus, AP Calculus BC if they're going to the mathematics. Being able to show your strengths in individual subjects through the AP curriculum is great, but also being able to show like yourself as a whole learner. I'm not just good at maths, I'm also good at the humanities, I'm also quite good at the sciences.
From listening to you, it seems like will open more opportunity for kids by the graduation. By the time that they graduate, basically they would have the chance of carrying a choice in their hands.
Yes, so one of my main goals as a college counselor is that the choices students make in high school and the portfolio that they build enables them to have choices when it comes time for applying to universities. So then they have choices when it comes time to picking where to take their education to next, right? Post high school, what continent do they want to live on? What country do they want to study in? And the more weight they have behind their applications with their academics and their extracurriculars, the more choices they have, the more doors open up to them. So the more chances you can have to open as many doors as possible is definitely the right choice.
Wow. I mean, when I was young, I don't get this kind of, choice.
Neither did I.
Neither did I. This is really, really nice for the kids.
Yeah.
So, Kate, if you could give one great advice to the parents that are trying to make a decision for their child of which curriculum is best for them, what would it be?
As a college counselor, I think the conversations I have with students and families are the one thing that helps the child and the family decide the best path. Because knowing what they're interested in and what they want to strive for will help them pick the right place. And it's conversations and talking with the student, not just assuming one place is going to fix everything. So yeah, talking with the counselors, talking with the teachers, talking with your child, trying to find the right fit, and not just the academics, but also other areas that your child feels comfortable in. As a mother myself of two boys, another thing that I give to parents as advice for any age is when talking to your children or when paying attention to their lives, when you find what they're really passionate about, try to find as many opportunities for them to grow in that passion as possible, and help them when they struggle, but keep feeding that strength area, because they need to continue this educational path their whole lives. It's not just 1 year transcript, it's not just 1 year of learning something. This is a lifetime pathway. So strengthening those areas where they really feel like themselves, then everything else kind of falls into place.
You're trying to make sure that they have enough choice and enough option, basically.
Exactly.
For their future.
And
in case they change their mind, basically.
And I think, and with younger children, there's a lot more room to change your minds.
Always.
And, we want to strengthen the foundations before grade 9 so that, once they reach that point where their application, their portfolio starts, building, then that's good.
So, Kate, thank you for sharing with us today in the Y Lab, and I hope that our families and parents and all students listening to this might kind of get the idea and help them find the right path. So yeah, this is where we come from, the Y Lab, where our curiosity unpacked. Thank you, Kate.